Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I had a pretty good morning. I just made a little over $600 on PayPal. It was a pretty good trade, and I made about $60, a little over $60 on each of the contracts. I bought 10 of them. So that added up pretty quickly. In hindsight, I did end up leaving a little bit of money on the table, but you know, that's just how it goes. It was a good trade. I planned the trade. I traded my plan. We've got oil pulling back a little bit, right? Pulling back, hopefully in preparation of some sort of rally on this OPEC news, right? The meeting that kind of fell through. So we could have possible supply constraints because OPEC, you know, canceled this meeting. They're not going to be producing the 2 million extra barrels per day. So we're sort of seeing oil pull back, the oil futures, the crude futures pulling back, ExxonMobil, Chevron pulling back. So I'm sort of looking for a swing trade there. Maybe sometime today or tomorrow, if oil can kind of base out a little bit and if buyers show interest, we could try to go long there. We got the markets, the S&P and the NASDAQ kind of pulling back a little bit today too. I mean, you got to understand, they're at all-time highs. S&P, the future, ES, sort of made a maybe a head and shoulders pattern. So the pullback, I think, you know, not only was it probable, but it was probably inevitable. So the markets are pulling back a little bit, but that's okay. What I want to talk about in this video is the exit plan, the exit strategy when it comes to silver stacking, right? Do you have an exit strategy? Do you have an exit plan? Have you even considered it? By my calculations, I have right now about 90 ounces of silver, which is worth, you know, according to the paper markets, it's worth about $2,400 last I checked this morning, if silver's at $26.65 or wherever it is today. Now I'm down $1,000, at least $1,000. You know, you got to take into account all the premiums that I paid. You know, I've probably spent $3,500 on these 90 ounces of silver. So I'm already down about $1,000. But here's the thing. I'm buying the silver with the intention of holding it forever. Now, I don't know about you, but that is how I buy silver. That's how I'm buying my gold. My intention is basically to hold this forever. If I do liquidate, it would be in my retirement years, you know, in my golden years. It would be, you know, when I'm 65, 75, 85. That, if I were to liquidate, that would be the time that I'm planning on liquidating. So when it comes to the exit strategy, there's several things that have to be thought of, right? You got to think about the premiums. Are you going to get those back? How are you going to get those back? You also have to think about the change in price, right? Could silver be at $100 30 years from now? Yeah, that is definitely possible, right? It's never done it before, but we know that it's hit $50 in the past. The probability that it could hit $50 again, I think, are pretty high because it has happened in the past. But 30 years from now, could it be over $50? Absolutely, right? And it wouldn't matter if you had bought silver at 25 or 28 or 35, right? But in the next couple of years, is silver going to be at $100? I think it's unlikely. Some people really believe that. There's silver bugs and silver bug propagandists on YouTube that are, you know, promoting this idea that silver is going to be at $300, $600. I mean, listen to some of the stuff Steve Penny says. I Love Prosperity, Silver Slayer. I mean, there's tons of channels that think this is not only possible but probable that silver is going to be in the triple digits sometime soon, right? So when you're thinking about your exit strategy, when you're building a physical position in silver, you know, what is your time horizon? Are you planning on flipping this a year from now? Because if you're planning on flipping this a year from now, you may as well, in my opinion, dabble in the paper markets, right? Because at least the paper markets, you're not paying the premium and you can easily sell them. You can sell them right on your Thinkorswim software or Robinhood or wherever you're buying paper silver. So, you know, the time horizon is very important. If you're like me and you're planning to basically hold for life, well, then, you know, worrying about how you're going to get your premiums back isn't that big of a deal, because it's quite possible that silver, you know, will be double, triple, quadruple what we bought it for 30 years from now. I mean, you think about where silver was in 1965, a silver dime was literally 10 cents. Right now it's like, what, $2, over $2? I actually bought some barber dimes yesterday. I took a picture of that on Instagram. I paid like $2.60 a dime, right? It was about $1.30 for the roll. I bought a roll of those dimes. I'm gonna go into the store, sort of gather my thoughts, and I'll finish this in a couple minutes. All right, so we just got some groceries, and I'm gonna run to the bank and load up on nickels. Got $40 out. I'm gonna load up on some nickels, do some coin roll hunting. Been doing a lot of coin roll hunting, but yeah, you know. So there's several exit strategies, right, that you could consider. The first and easiest is to probably liquidate at a coin shop or a bullion dealer, right? Oh, I can actually go this way. The coin shops, the bullion dealers, that's going to be the easiest way to liquidate, right? You just take your silver in there, you know, set it on the table, and they usually will buy the whole thing. I mean, unless it's like thousands or millions of ounces or something. But, you know, all the coin shops here, you're not going to get those premiums back very easily. And if you are, you're going to have to wait years and years before you can liquidate, right? That's why I'm buying with the intention of holding for life. So, you know, liquidation is not going to come for another 30 or 40 years. Silver, you know, as far as I know, will probably be much higher than where I bought it. So I might be able to get the premiums back. But if you're, you know, planning on buying silver right now, or liquidating silver right now, you're probably not going to get the premiums back, you know, or sometime in the future, like near in the future. Now, that being said, all right, you could try to sell slowly on eBay, OfferUp, right, online. But to do that, that is a lot of work. Right, that's so much work. You're going to have to do, you know, so much, you know, work taking pictures, descriptions. Then there's fees associated with that. There's eBay fees. There's mailing. Right, you got to take care of all of that stuff. That to me just sounds kind of ridiculous, unless you want to be like a silver flipper. If you want to trade silver and make it not only your hobby but like your main trade, your main career. You know, to me, that's not really an option. All right, I'm not trying to sell my silver piece by piece or ounce by ounce online. Right, so I'm not buying silver with the intention of doing that. If you are, you know, that's a legitimate exit strategy, but just realize how much work goes into that. And then, you know, the third option really is kind of building a network, which I think this is a more long-term goal. But building a network, maybe in your local community, or maybe with people that you meet online, but just trying to build a network of fellow, you know, silver, people that deal in silver, people that will purchase things with silver or sell you things for silver. Some people might accept silver for a car, or maybe someday you could buy a house with ounces of silver. We don't know where this is going, but building that network, right? If your exit strategy is not 30 or 40 years out, if you're trying to flip this, you know, if silver spikes up to $40 next year, and that's when you want to sell, you need to start building this network now. OfferUp is a great place because if you download that app, you can really get a lot of like local, you know, people that will buy from you. I'm gonna run in the bank real quick. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Pretty much is, you know, in thinking about your exit strategy, there's basically three: liquidating at the bullion dealer, right, which is probably the easiest way to liquidate. That's probably how I plan on liquidating decades from now. You could try to sell online, sell on eBay, OfferUp, but again, that's a shit ton of work. All right, I probably just don't want to do that much work. But if that's something you're into, you know, if you want to set up an online store and sell silver, you know, by all means do it, right? Especially if you got maybe a following or something online or on your Facebook page, all right? And then the third option, which I would be more interested in than The second option of selling online is building like a local network, building a network of people who you trust, who you know, that are also into silver, that will accept silver, you know, people who are willing to buy and trade outside of the system with you in your area, dealing in silver. That might take, again, decades to build that kind of connection with your area, your region, but that's another way to potentially liquidate. So this is why I think if you're buying silver, you should only be purchasing as much as that you can afford, right? Do not spend cash that you need on silver, because when you go to liquidate, you're going to lose money. That's just the reality. Buy it as insurance, right? If there is, you know, on the off chance some sort of apocalyptic scenario and the economy tanks and the whole system fails, right? Having a little bit of silver is probably a good idea. But buy it as insurance on your money, as a hedge against inflation, and buy it like you would insurance. You hope you never need it, right? But if you do need it, it's there, right? If I had to liquidate, if something crazy happened and I had to liquidate, I have about $2,400 worth of silver right now, right? But it's insurance. I'm hoping that I never need it. And really, right now, I hope silver just sort of chops around in the range that it's in, and doesn't really do too much, because I want to buy more, and I'd rather buy it for a lower price than buy it into the 40s. So that's my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you have an exit strategy with your stacking? Have you thought about the exit strategy? And which option would you potentially go with? How long, you know, are you holding this stuff? I'd love to hear back from you guys down below. And make sure to give the video a like if you want to see more stuff like this. And as always, until next time, God bless. Real quick too, funny little thing. So I'm telling you guys this because I want you guys to see how gung-ho I am about coin roll hunting right now. So I go to my bank and I get, or my credit union, and I get nickels, about $20 worth, right? 10 rolls. But they're all brand new 2021s. So I go to the local Walmart where there's like a Forest Bank or something. I forget what it's called. And they're always really nice to me. I don't have an account there, but about once a month I go and get coins there. And so I go up to him. It's usually the same teller, this guy. And, you know, I've got 10 rolls of nickels, and I say to him, could you do me a huge favor and exchange? I have 10 rolls of nickels. I'd like to exchange these, give these to you guys. And if you have the customer wrap rolls, could I have 10 of those? All right. And, you know, they always look at me kind of funny, but I think by now they know what I'm doing, right? They know I'm like searching through coins, but it's just kind of awkward, you know. It's just an awkward situation, right? You kind of look like you're crazy, right? But you're coin roll hunting. And then I asked him, I say, could I get 10 rolls of pennies? And so he breaks out the pennies. They're real cool about it, right? They never hassle me or give me a hard time. They've been hassling me kind of about opening up an account at that bank. So I'll probably have to open up an account there, because I am, you know, getting a lot of coins at least once a month, sometimes twice a month from there. And so as he's getting the pennies out, he says, wait, how much did you want? He said you wanted $10 worth. And I was like, well, can you give me $10 worth? He was like, yeah, that's fine. So I got 20 rolls of pennies. So I got 10 rolls of nickels and 20 rolls of pennies. I'll actually show you real quick. It's a pretty heavy bag, but yeah, let me flip this around. These are all customer wrapped rolls. They look beautiful. There's got to be some good stuff in here. There's probably a lot of copper in these rolls of pennies. And this is what they always have. I've never gone there with, you know, they've never given me brand new rolls. So I probably will get an account there, but this is going to be a lot of fun. I love coin roll hunting. I've been doing it now for about 6 months. I try to get through at least $100 worth of face value every couple of weeks. My goal is $200 worth of face value a month. I don't always reach that goal, but you know, I've found some cool stuff, right? I've found even some silver. Occasionally, I have found 3 silver war nickels. And in my experience, the nickels and the pennies are the best to go through. quarters don't really yield much. Maybe West Points, maybe errors, but I'm not really looking for errors because I just haven't gotten into that yet. You know, a lot of copper, right, in the pennies. And I'm just stacking the nickel, right? Stacking the nickel, kind of diversifying my physical stack a little bit. Stacking the copper, stacking the wheat pennies. So, yeah, I just wanted to add that to the video. I'll see you guys on the next one.